I'm trying to share as much footage as possible from the DJI Osmo Nano camera, just so you can see for yourself if this is something that might be right for your YouTube channel, or maybe even Instagram or TikTok videos. I really wanted this camera because I do vlog on other channels where I wear a camera, either while I'm traveling or riding a bike. The footage in this video is really dull though, because I've noticed, and you've told me in the comments, that low light footage isn't as overwhelmingly good as you'd hoped it would be. By the way, it's raining, so sorry about the pitter patter on my DJI Mic 2 that I've got attached here. But with the low light footage, and I noticed this when I was vlogging yesterday, when you go into, say, a store situation, this is me in IKEA, you notice there are shudders where the stabilization doesn't quite cope, doesn't quite catch up with the movements in lower light situations. But this is just indoors, it's brightly lit. The shudders were slightly irritating. Now it's a bit unfair really, because it is an action camera, and every action camera I've ever had has done this kind of thing indoors. And I've bought this camera with my own money, so I'm not being sponsored by DJI, I wish, and I've paid good money for this thing, so I've got no skin in the game. But actually, I think the footage from indoors on the DJI Nano has been better than any action camera I've had. But is there a way we can improve it? Can I somehow mitigate those shudders? I just don't want it to shudder. That's all. I just want it to be smooth footage. So I tried some tests this morning in my kitchen. This is really super boring footage. But if you want to see how the DJI Osmo Nano looks indoors with the curtains closed, so it's not nighttime, it's a fairly ordinary indoor situation, but you'll see the shudders as I walk around the kitchen counter. So I've got to do a lens wipe now. I thought I'd present to you all of my tests. I was shooting them for 1 minute, and that was to measure the file sizes. That's on another video. You'll see that down in the description to see how much file storage the DJI Nano camera takes. But this is my crushingly dull walk around my kitchen indoors to see if I can improve the footage. So I guess I ought to introduce each of these clips like Alfred Hitchcock. It's like a little movie festival, a little film festival of my kitchen on a Sunday morning. So the first footage you will see in its entirety is shot at 1080p, RockSteady, at 25 frames per second at the standard bit rate, and I'll explain that in a moment. See exactly how much gigabytes. Let's record for a minute at 1080 at the lower bit rate. Do some light jogging. Curtains off. Curtains are open. So this next clip is exactly the same. So it's 1080p, RockSteady stabilization, de-warp field of view. But for this one, I went into the menu and I chose the high bit rate just to see if that would improve how much data the camera records per second at that higher bit rate. Does that mean we get any better quality footage, or does it make the shudder happen less? Remove curtains, let's adjust that clip. Just gonna run around. See how the stabilization copes. This is RockSteady de-warp, and this is the higher bit rate at 1080p. We're going to step up now to 4K. So this is standard bit rate, 4K, 25 frames per second, RockSteady de-warp. And this is at the standard bit rate. So this is at the lower bit rate. Give me a little jog around the kitchen. Let's go into the dark room. And I'll turn the light on. We're at 25 seconds. Just going for a jog around the kitchen. And just for the fun of it, this is 4K at the higher bit rate, and I'll let it run for a minute because then I will know how much storage it takes. This is with the light off. Just turn the light on. Am I getting any of those blurry that are jumping up and down? I'm just going to walk around like I'm walking around an IKEA. Sometimes my house actually feels like an IKEA showroom. So that was all shots at RockSteady stabilization. The next sequence of videos, the next 4 videos, 4 minutes of utter delight, seat of your pants action. This is shot in horizon balancing stabilization. So horizon balancing, 1080p, 25 frames per second at a standard bitrate. But Casper's wondering what's going on. Why am I getting a walk and not him? So this is 1080, horizon balancing, standard bitrate. I'll do another bit of jogging. So I'm bouncing up and down, deliberately bouncing the camera, and I can see the monitor glitching. This would be the setting that I would hope would give me the most stable footage. So this is the high bitrate at 1080p with horizon balancing. I'm going to jump up and down. I'm turning the camera. I'm swinging it so that the horizon is thrown. It's looking pretty solid on the monitor. Let's go into the dark room, turn the light on, give you a pan of a completely dark room. Turn on the light, have a look around Casper's biscuits. Hey, maybe I should give him one. I'll give him one on the next test. Now it's 4K at standard bit rates. This is horizon balancing. I'll do some jogging with me in vision. I'm really shaking the camera. Horizon balancing, 4K, standard bit rate. Let's clip you on and give you the tour of the kitchen one final time. Jog. And dark room, turn the light on. These are all the gadgets that we're not using in our kitchen. Back into the kitchen. Now it's 4K at horizon balancing at 25 frames per second, and this is the, I can't remember which bit rate this is. I'm lost. I think this is the higher bit rate. And then we'll go into the dark room, turn the light on, give you a pan, and I'll jog around the kitchen. I'm really shaking this. Not sure the lanyard's straight. I hope those 4 clips were useful. Then I thought, well, I can make 4 more clips. This will be at double the frame rates. So all of those clips that you've seen up until now have been shot at 25 frames per second. I'm now going to shoot at 50 frames per second. I use 25 and 50 because I'm in the UK, and it's so that I help avoid flicker with the electrical lights in our country. We're at 50 Hertz. So that's why I use 25 frames per second. But for these clips, they're at double that, 50 frames per second. Enjoy. This is 1080p higher bit rate. I'm really shaking the camera up and down, jogging up and down. Let's put you on the lanyard. I'm going to jog around the kitchen. So this is higher bit rates. I'd hope that this would look better than the last video, but it's at 50 frames per second. Let's go into the dark room with no light on, and then I'll turn the light on. Now I have the microphone on as well, just to see if that changes anything. This is the DJI Mic 2, and it means that I can't see my monitor, so I have no idea what this footage looks like. Really bouncing it around. 50 frames per second, doing lots of swoops. This is standard bit rate, RockSteady. Do some jogging around the kitchen. Am I getting that shudder? I need to find a name for the shudder. It kind of goes a little bit blurry when you bounce, when you kind of overwhelm the stabilizations. That's with a light on. Okay, I hope these videos are helping. It does feel slightly ridiculous just walking around my kitchen, bouncing a camera up and down, so I'm really giving it a shake here. So this is 4K at 50 frames per second, and this is at the higher bit rate. And then I'll give you a side pan of our counter. It's a Sunday morning, so basically the aftermath of a Saturday night. Don't judge me. We're here to judge the footage, not me. There's a tiny bit of warmth on the camera. It's not going hot though. And then for completion, I know that you are not in the UK, so you are probably shooting at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. This video you're seeing now is being presented to you at 4K and 50 frames per second, but I'll just shoot it at 4K, 60 frames per second, so you can see what it's like. Let's put you on my chest and go into the dark room, turn the lights on, and just look around. And then we have a point of view shot, doing some jogging and bouncing around. So this is the high bitrate, 4K, 60 frames per second. Now it's difficult, isn't it, judging whether or not your action camera is behaving itself. Is it the best it could be? So let's compare it now with a completely different camera. This isn't an action camera. This is the DJI Pocket 3 camera in the same situation, 25 frames per second. I think it's standard bitrate. This is what the minute would look like with DJI Pocket 3 camera. Light on. Oh, I've got the zoom on. Hang on, let's tilt down. So this is what it looks like on the DJI Pocket 3. I'll jump up and down. I'm really waving it around with my hand now. So what do you think? If you've reached this point of the video, my goodness, you really want to know about this camera, so thank you. I really appreciate it, and thanks for hitting the thumbs up or the subscribe button. I hope something here is of use. I hope if you're looking at footage to see if this is for you. All action cameras aren't great indoors. For me, for the few that I've had, this has definitely been the best so far. But what do you think? Say hi in the comments below, and over here are even more footage samples and tips and tricks and other experiences I've had with the DJI Osmo Nano camera.